Welcome to the Furnace, where the Guildford Heat were hosting the Glasgow Rocks on Sunday. With Daniel Sandell not quite recovered from his knee injury and Mike Martin out for the rest of the season, the Heat drafted in two new faces to strengthen the bench: Jacob Loveridge from the Heat under-18s and Richard Green from the Heat 2. The visitors have also had their injuries, with Rob Yanders making his way back from an ankle injury. He torched the Heat with his three-point shooting in January, but looked back to his best today. Homegrown talent Gareth Murray has also blossomed this season. So to the action. The Heat won the opening tip, immediately getting the ball to Kenny Langhorne, who drew an early foul on the Rocks' Jesse Sapp. Unfortunately, it was well before the shot and the basket was waved off. However, it didn't take the Heat long to get going. After this Gareth Murray three-point attempt, LA Drakeford pushed the ball up court and Julius Joseph opened the scoring for the Heat with a three. After a Rob Yanders three tied the game, Chad McKnight went strong to the basket, his three-point play putting the Heat up 6-3. Yanders hit a pair of free throws for the Rocks before Teo got free to add another monster dunk to his already impressive collection. At the other end, good Heat defence forced the Rocks into mistakes, although Gareth Murray worked hard, showing that he's not just a three-point threat, this basket making it 8-7 to the Heat. However, JJ had it going early, this jumper in the paint capping a 6-0 run and putting the Heat ahead 14-7. The Heat made the Rocks work hard for their points, this basket the result of some tough play by the Rocks' Steve Parallon. The Heat dominated the opening quarter, pushing the ball up court at every opportunity and making it hard for the Rocks, who shot just 3 of 9 from three-point range. The Heat used a balanced attack with 4 of 5 starters scoring. At one point the Heat extended their lead to 21-12 before Jesse Sapp trimmed it from the line with 2 free throws. However, the Heat weren't done, and with the clock winding down, Teo Ogadengbe found Laken Papula open under the basket, the Heat guard finishing the play to give the Heat a 26-17 first quarter lead. However, that was as good as it was going to get for the Heat, as they allowed the Rocks to score 32 points in both the second and third quarters. Having held the Rocks to 3 of 9 shooting from three-point range in the first quarter, the Heat allowed them to make 10 of 14 shots from long distance in the next 2. We pick up the action towards the end of the third, when LA's free throw trimmed the lead to 58-75. Unfortunately, the Rocks had the final say in the quarter, Sterling Davis stripping Chad McKnight as he looked to get the final shot off. The Rocks got the ball up court to Rob Yanders, who scored just before the buzzer for an 81-61 lead. Things didn't get any better in the final quarter as the Rocks continued to dominate. Even the normal reliable JJ managed to miss a pair of free throws, the Heat overall shooting under 50% from the line. The Rocks continued with their hot shooting, bench player Scott Russell knocking down a long jumper here. Even Scorcher couldn't get a basket for the Heat, his windmill dunk clanging off the back of the rim. When JJ finally scored, the Heat had gone 4.5 minutes without a basket, and the Rocks had an unassailable 90-63 lead. The Rocks continued to pound away at the Heat, point guard Rob Yanders getting the offensive rebound before setting up Mike Kroll for the second of his 3 three-pointers. When Mike Copeland went straight through Teo for the dunk, the Heat big man had had enough, cramp on both sides of his leg, forcing him out of the game early. The Heat continued to play, but were getting precious few breaks, and even the Heat dancers couldn't buy them a basket. The Rocks piled it on, Mike Kroll hitting the last of the Rocks' 15 three-pointers, the most given up by the Heat this season. By now the Heat had turned to their bench, with Richard Green and Jacob Loveridge making their BBL debuts for the Heat. Oscar Ochapa also got some court time, making his presence felt with an offensive rebound. Unfortunately, Richard's lack of practice time with the first team showed as he missed Oscar's pass under the basket. This play about summed up the Heat's afternoon as the hard-working Gareth Murray scored on the 5th attempt. When Mike Copeland hit this free throw for a 98-74 lead, it was all over for the Heat. Laken Popoola walking the ball up court as the final buzzer sounded.